They include the national recognition from the Blinded American Veterans Foundation, the National Military Family Association, the Vietnam Veterans of America, the Reserve Officers Association, and the Retired Enlisted Association and the Non-Commissioned Officer Association of the United States. In addition to this, his wife Patricia was a former school teacher and was very, very active on many committees regarding schools and school teacher benefits and how we take care of our children in the schools within his particular district. So without further ado, Lindsay, if you could join me up there. Ms. Lindsay Kamar is our incoming chair. So you will see her standing up here smiling over here. Without further ado, I'd like to ask Mr. Booker to come up to accept the award for Congressman John Mica. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Appreciate the invitation. Of course, Congressman appreciates it as well. Just a few remarks that the Congressman, I was up in Washington yesterday and told him because of scheduling difficulties that he wouldn't be there. Of course, he gave the standard politician's response, which is keep it at around 30 minutes or so and enjoy it. So politicians often say that joke. My comments are going to be brief and maybe a little bit more on a personal note. As you know, Congressman Mica is the United States Congressman and by definition a politician. Sometimes politician has a negative connotation. Sometimes politicians have to do something because it's part of their job. Sometimes they do things that they don't necessarily want to do as part of their job. Politicians make decisions sometimes based on how it will be perceived by the public, but not how it's felt in the heart. In regards to this award and the honor that you've given him, I would put Congressman Mica in the context of a public servant. And as a public servant, he does it because it's in his heart, and he translates that into his staff. And I'm going to tell a quick story. Sue Bauer, who is here as my guest, she's actually one of the Congressman's staff aides, and she deals a lot with veterans issues. You know, I worked for a prior Congressman years and years ago, and in Congressman Mica, two different stints. Let me tell you a little story. Not too long ago, I came into the office, and Sue was going crazy about something that was going on in the office, and she told me about a veteran that had no teeth. And I was like, oh my gosh, you know, thinking in my mind, well, man, I wonder if the VA has something set up in order to take care of that problem. And so a couple days later, I went by and, you know, hey Sue, she goes, well, I'm going to find this guy some dentures. And I'm like, well, okay, so you're going to call VA in Gainesville, VA in Orlando, VA in Washington. So I'm like, okay, good deal. And I didn't think she was going to get very far on it. A week or so later, I come into the office and she goes, I got that guy his teeth. And I said, how'd you do that? And she goes, I've called around to dentists, and I've done this, and I've done that, and we're doing this, and we're doing that. And, you know, by golly, we've got this guy, you know, some teeth. The poor guy doesn't like to go out in public because of it. And I tell this story because if it weren't for what Congressman Mica feels in his heart, it wouldn't translate down to the staff level. So Congressman Mica takes care of some big VA issues, veterans issues, and it translates down into the staff level. And so I'll tell a story, and there's Sue, and you know, she deserves a big round of applause for what she did. So I think that's just a little story about what and how Congressman Micah feels about it. Of course, he sends you his regards, his regrets, and you know, this event is about everybody who's involved in the social work, especially in regards to the veterans. So again, that was under 30 minutes. Don't tell the Congressman that I only spoke for 4 or 5. So anyway, thank you again, Congressman. Thank you. And it's my understanding that when Randy is up in Washington come June, he's personally going to give the award to the Congressman. I'm sure we'll post the pictures on somebody's website, and you'll all be able to see that. So thanks again. And my personal emergency is my 10-year-old. So I'm going to apologize for leaving. I normally don't like politicians who come in, eat, speak, and run, but I'm going to take the liberty to do that this evening. So thanks again from Congressman Micah and again our staff, and of course we're there to help veterans, and he's made that perfectly clear to us. So thanks again.
Sir?
Yeah.
Photo moment.
Oh.